Now to take a look through the French press with Flo Villeneuve.
Hey, Haxi.
Hi, Flo. And there is, of course, only one story dominating papers today. Donald Trump's announcement that he will be taking the US out of the Paris Climate Agreement.
Of course, Paris, the key word, signed here, so it's a very touchy subject in France. And, of course, I think it's safe to say that French papers are globally outraged by this decision to scrap the climate agreement. Let's take a look, first of all, at the front page of Libération, the left-wing paper. Really striking front page today. Goodbye, America. You can see that oil slick taking over the front page. By scrapping the 2015 agreement, Trump is putting the short-run interests of America first. Oh, well, for the climate. That's what La Croix, the Catholic paper, says. So much for the climate. If we can take a look at their front page, you'll see there is an iceberg. Well, you just have to imagine it, I guess. Oh, there it is. There it is, the front page of La Croix.
And according to several papers, Trump's decision is a huge mistake, not just for America, but the planet as a whole.
Well, if we take a look at the front page of Aujourd'hui en France, Le Parisien, they call it a crazy decision. And in its editorial, Le Parisien goes even further, says this is a historic and criminal mistake against the planet. Once again, Donald Trump shows that he really doesn't care much about the rest of the world. This is more than bad news, more than an enormous letdown. It is a faute historique, a historic mistake.
And now Trump's decision has drawn harsh criticism from leaders across the world. The leaders of France, Germany and Italy issuing a joint statement rejecting any renegotiation of that agreement.
And there's a video of Emmanuel Macron, the French president, that's gone a little bit viral where he says, "Make our planet great again." Now, if we take a look at the editorial in Libération, it's really seething today, calls it a slap in the face for humanity. What blind egotism, scientific denial. Trump is on the wrong side of history, leaving a nightmare for future generations. But according to Libération, this stab in the back, that's what it's calling it, could actually be a wake-up call for the rest of the world. It could raise awareness and spark action. Just like the Brexit has really mobilized Europe, given a boost to Europe, well, this Amerixit, that's what they're calling it, kind of a hard one to say.
Doesn't quite have the same ring.
Doesn't ring the same way. Amerixit could actually push the rest of the world to raise their ambition when it comes to fighting global climate change. And indeed, that already seems to be happening. If we take a look at an article in Le Figaro, you can see they're talking about how against the United States, China and the EU are sealing an alliance, positioning themselves as global leaders ready to pick up the torch abandoned by the U.S. And you can see there the Prime Minister of China, Li Keqiang, and the German Chancellor, Angela Merkel, there at a press conference, kind of symbolizing this alliance that we're seeing emerge.
And several papers today are saying that when it comes to climate change, we don't really have much time.
Well, La Croix, the Catholic paper, says, global warming is clearly happening. This hypothesis is being confirmed. According to the World Meteorological Organization, 2016 was the warmest year on record, and the first indicators for 2017 are alarming. Since the beginning of the year, countless countries have been hit with extreme weather, so drought or excessive rain, massive rainfall. You have Nigeria, South Sudan, Yemen, China. The list goes on, according to La Croix and this global, this World Meteorological Organization, which says that the only a global effort to massively reduce greenhouse gases will enable us to contain global warming.
And let's move on now to another story that's getting quite a bit of attention in the French press today. Justice Minister François Bayrou has outlined a new bill aiming to make French politics more ethical.
That much-touted bill that we've been waiting for, of course, it was a campaign promise from Emmanuel Macron. He wants to clean up French politics, make it more squeaky clean and ethical. Now, this bill is called the Law to Restore Confidence in Democratic Life, and it comes as Macron's government is facing a scandal involving one of his ministers, Richard Ferrand. You can see the justice minister there, François Bayrou, but the scandal involves Richard Ferrand, the new minister for territorial integration. Now, a preliminary investigation has been opened into a very controversial property deal that he made some years back. Now, Macron has been silent about this scandal so far. He was on a trip to Brittany just recently, and the scandal kind of caught up with him. So according to Le Parisien, this Ferrand scandal has ruined his postcard moment in Brittany. And so this, of course, the big scandal that we've been covering over the last couple days.
And of course, the question now is whether or not this scandal will be harmful to Macron's La République En Marche party. Legislative elections are coming right up.
They're coming up really soon. In fact, the first round is next Sunday. Could this scandal, essentially scupper their chances in the upcoming election? Well, according to Les Echos, the business daily, so far the scandal doesn't seem to be tripping up the party. According to their forecast, Macron's party is actually continuing to make progress. They think that he could win between 335 and 335 and 355 seats out of the 577 seats in the parliament. You can see there that purple band, I guess you could say, representing just how many seats they could get in the parliament. So it could be actually quite a comfortable majority for Emmanuel Macron, and that is, of course, what he's hoping to get in that parliamentary election.
And finally, from you, Flo, France's favourite astronaut is about to come back down to Earth.
Thomas Pesquet has become quite a superstar, I think, it's safe to say, in the 6 months that he has spent at the International Space Station. French people love the photos of Earth and the videos of spacey things that he's been sharing on social media. But he didn't only take photos. According to Libération, they come back on all the things that he has done in the 6 months that he has spent in space, all sorts of important scientific experiments you can read about in this article. And he will continue scientific experiments when he comes back to Earth. Now, he is impatient to come home. He says, I can't wait to return to Earth, but I'm going to miss the view. And he is expected to touch down at 4:09 p.m., very precise, in Kazakhstan.
I'm sure I would miss the view too. Flo with the French papers, thank you very much.